As several of you may know, which is probably one reason why I drove you here to this tutorial, is a very popular anime that hopefully we're getting a season 2, I hope. The Elucidator. This is going to be a mini tutorial for it, seeing how now I have a full tutorial up on how to make any and all swords. This one will only cover just specific dimensions and the special template being used. So only in mini tutorials I'll give you the schematics, the template design if it's a bit different in design, and show you what the finished product actually looks like. What you see here down here is a yet to be finished Elucidator. More on that in another video when I do finish on that. This is the remaining template for simplicity's sake. Now, the really thin portions of this actually start curving because that's just a property of paper. Now, this is a drawing of just the hilt area. I'll have that scanned to the computer and uploaded to the tail end of this video, so you can full screen this video and then take a screenshot, print it out, and you should have a 1:1 scale drawing of that to work by. For scale reference, I have a 18-inch ruler. Now this is the template that is being used, which is built slightly off center because it's just the way this handguard is actually shaped. Now, this is where the actual handle is, as you can see, the reference template I have here. It should only overhang to this portion by about an inch. These two sections are actually 2 1/4-inch sheets. You'll get the dimensions on this on the tutorial video, which I have down in the description or posted in the annotations. It's 2 of these for each side of this. And that is just pretty much placed center on that, and only overlapping the handle by about an inch. You would build that up however many layers, depending on the type of paper you're using. Refer back to the tutorial I have posted. And that is generally how that one odd, quirky little handle is built. That's probably the most common question I get, because everything's standards and symmetrical until you get to that one handle portion. This is the shorter, I would call it type 3. I don't know what the exact dimensions of this is. 1 second. Okay. This is the 2 3/4 by 8.5 dimension hardened paper. Again, tutorial on that in the video I just linked. In total, this should be five of these long, so this should give you a 42-inch blade. And the joint between the 4th and the 5th one should be where your crossguard should be. Very simple, very easy. A lot of reference pictures online. I'll post a few of those in this video as well, just to make access easier. Now, I did leave this sword unfinished for a very particular reason, and that is the way I did these supports for this area here. Unfortunately, I had covered all of this before. I remember I was supposed to do a miniature tutorial for this, but I should have a picture of Dark Repulser using the exact same method, so I'll put a picture of that into this video as well. That should give you a general idea on how the supports on this is also done. It's the way I did that is so to keep it from actually warping. My main concern was that once paper dries, it warps. So to keep it from warping, I do a support style like that. And it's also impact resistant on the edges, so it makes a much more effective handguard. Now, center may be hollow, but that is almost irrelevant. Someone has also asked me before, should we wrap our handguards, or do we panel it over? That depends. If it's like a really, really thin handguard and paneling is very unfeasible, then you would wrap it. But on something like this with such a large flat surface area, you can panel it over. Although, see how thick this actually is, as you can see here. There are massive gaps in here. This is going to be papered over as is. I'll show you the final product of this, and it's very, very self-explanatory. And I'll explain some more during that part if I have to, which I probably am. But as you can see, this is paneled over because of the large surface area. Now, by definition, a large surface area, it's not a given number. What I have to say is that you can paper over or panel over what you feel comfortable as a large surface area. I can work with something like this. I can probably go even smaller. I mean, for you, maybe not. So you have to work with what you feel comfortable. Now, sometimes you might have to because of aesthetic reasons. That is entirely dependent on the sword you are making. Now, large gaps like this, don't expect to be able to touch it to the template itself like how you do the blade. This is an entirely different problem on its own. I will tell you this though, okay? Even with the pre-drawn template that I'm going to give you, you will need a compass to actually get a identical trace onto the template you're making, or you can just feel free to just glue it on and cut it out as is. I mean, although I didn't have the option of doing that because of this tutorial, so I'll tell you this, geometry skills, knowledge of how to use a compass, you'll need several sizes of protractors. Those are very, very helpful. Go slow, don't rush this, okay? This is 4 days in and it's not even finished. Okay. Okay, so with the swords finally finished, I should probably show you what I had before, what I have now. This one is the older Elucidator, featured in past videos, previous videos. This is the one I just recently finished, and the mini tutorial is for, as you can see. Now, the edges like this are simply just papered over, simply by cutting out a small strip of paper and just lining over it. Very simple. Although I'm using 110-pound paper on here, so just a single layer is enough. Minor detail works like this is also included at the end of the video. To print these out, you would full screen your video, take a screen capture of it, or print screen, and then you might have to drop it into a video editor to get the borders out, and then when you print it out, scale it to that of a 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And it should come out 1:1 scale. I would upload these, have it as a downloadable file, except I don't know of a free file hosting site, so if anyone knows of one, feel free to private message me, tell me, and I'll have it uploaded then and posted in the description, whenever that will be. Another difference is that other than the tip, which is included right here, there isn't that little cross. Now, in the concept art, his sword had a small cross here, although in the anime it was not animated, so I didn't include that. So if you want that on there, you're gonna have to do that yourself.